Good evening. The Western Bulldogs have rewritten AFL history, stunning the Sydney Swans to deliver a fairy tale premiership. Before a crowd nudging 100,000, the team everyone in Victoria has adopted won its first cup in more than 60 years.
A moment generations had longed for.
He misses, but they don't miss out. Their day, their year, their joy.
For years they've been the battlers of the league, seemingly lurching from crisis to crisis. No one thought it would lead to this. The man many at Whitten Oval have elevated to hero status finally allowed himself some emotion.
Finally, it's just an amazing performance by the player boys, and Sydney an unbelievable side, so took everything.
Beloved, injured captain Bob Murphy was overcome.
I'd like to get Bob Murphy up on the stand. This is yours, mate. You deserve it more than anyone.
Shattered Swans were everywhere, so many thought their experience in finals would deliver them the premiership. Instead, it was a Hollywood ending. The Bulldogs' quest for glory had inspired footy fans all week, and by first light this morning, the line for MCC members was staggering.
We've been here since about 10 to 5.
Many had camped all night to ensure they nabbed a good seat, and by this morning the crowd had swelled to thousands, despite the awful weather.
Rain, hail or shine, the Dogs will win.
Finally, at 8 o'clock, they were allowed in to claim their prize, an incredible view of the biggest game of the year. The long tradition of car park barbecues also continued, even though there seems to be less space for them every year. Among them, 93-year-old Dogs fan Lorna Ravencroft.
What does this week mean to you?
Just everything, because I was running out of time.
By lunchtime, the MCG was teeming with Swans and Doggies fans of every description. Sid, the Bulldogs mascot, was there after he initially was told he was banned, and this shows how much the Bulldogs have captured hearts.
It'll be a fairy tale if they win today. I'll even shed a tear for them.
Legendary commentator Dennis Cometti prepared to call his last grand final.
I look forward to this afternoon with you for the final time.
As the crowd inside found its voice. And despite a week of rain, the ground was looking magnificent. Vance Joy took the stage to kick off the entertainment, followed by the living end and Sting.
It was fabulous, really good.
I really liked it, yeah.
Was it better than Meatloaf in Port?
1,000 times better than Meatloaf.
Then finally it was time for the football. Under banners their cheer squads had been planning all week, the Swans and Bulldogs players ran onto the turf for what for many was the biggest moment of their lives.
So much of this week has been about the Bulldogs after finishing 7th and then making their first grand final since 1961. But the Swan supporters are just as passionate and with their own score to settle after losing their last grand final 2 years ago.
Vicar and Linda Bull sang the national anthem to great acclaim. Then at 2:30, the first bounce. The Swans are famous for their first quarters, and Luke Parker struck 12 minutes in.
He gets the first goal of the 2016 Grand Final.
But the Dogs hit back with 2 of their own, and by quarter time they were 4 points in front. And worryingly for the Swans, superstar Lance Franklin had injured his ankle. A magic kick by Bontempelli to the Bulldogs' $1 million man Tom Boyd gave the Dogs their first goal of the second.
And nails it.
The Swans hit back quickly.
Straight through the middle if you don't mind.
The Bulldogs had all the tricks, but the Swans settled and kicked 4 in a row, and by half-time were 2 points ahead.
This has been as good a first half of footy you've ever seen, I reckon, in a grand final.
Familiar faces were peppered through the crowd.
The truth is, win, lose or draw, I'm going to die of a heart attack. That's the only thing I know.
And the second half did little to ease the pressure. The lead changed several times as the teams kicked goal for goal. And the Bulldogs ended the third quarter tantalisingly close to their second ever premiership. The last quarter began disastrously for the Swans.
Where's Hennepy? Is he all right? He's in trouble.
But then came Buddy.
And the champion nails it.
And the Bulldogs' lead was down to 1. But this is where legends begin. And after intense, panicked scrambles, the Dogs managed a goal, then another. And by the time Tom Boyd kicked one 5 minutes from the siren, the outcome seemed set. One of the longest premiership droughts in AFL-VFL history, broken in the most spectacular fashion.
To all the supporters, it's been a long time coming. We did it!
Laurel Irving, 7 News.